Hello, welcome everybody, whoever is watching this. I hope you've had a wonderful day thus far, and I'm glad that you're joining me on today's session of wonderful painting and creation. So, I'm kind of testing my mic out right now. I'm not entirely sure if it's even recording. It's plugged in and everything, but I'm still trying to figure this whole setup out. I have extreme allergies, so if you hear me sniffling and coughing and sneezing, please forgive me. I've been around a kitten all day long, and geez, it's crazy how such a small animal can inflict so many different allergies on me. It's just insane how such a small creature can do that. So yeah, I already applied my blue base coat, as you can see, and that was the first time that I've used that paint before, and it was actually supposed to be a charcoal clear finish, is what it says on the gallon can that I bought. So lo and behold, it was very thin. When I poured it out, it basically pours out like water. And given that I'm used to using other water-based paints that are thicker, it really caught me by surprise. So I had to actually end up dipping my brush inside the can. And it was nice, but I don't know. It was definitely different. But anyway, I'm enjoying the patterns that I'm creating right here. And I'm actually in downtown Los Angeles. I'm on top of a rooftop. I had to kind of sneak up here a little bit. I'm just kidding. Although I would have snuck onto a rooftop with such a nice view as this one. And as you can see, there's kind of a pool behind me. And I can go there too. It's really nice up here. I am enjoying downtown Los Angeles. This is my second time being in downtown LA. And all the people here are, you could just tell that they're very creative. I've gone walking around. I went walking around yesterday, and there are just always so many people walking around. They make me laugh because a lot of people just make comments at you as you pass them. Like they'll compliment you or they'll say something, and at the same time, there are also a lot of homeless people or people that are high on drugs. So you have to be careful and watch out. But I'm not gonna lie, it's a melting pot of so many different people, whether they're drug addicts or, professionals. It's just so many different variations of people walking around, and you get to see so many different kinds of people. So it's really enjoyable. Really enjoyable. I love walking past people who are carrying speakers just playing music. It happens so frequently here in Los Angeles. It's something that's very common. And you hear a lot of horns beeping too. As a matter of fact, as I'm painting right now, there was a helicopter circling above me, so I'm glad that I muted the audio. Otherwise, you would have just heard helicopter propellers this entire time. It was so loud, and I kind of just zoned out, and I blocked off that noise while I was painting. But yeah, there's always something going on over here. There's always something going on, and coming from a small town in Texas, I'm just not used to seeing this many people at this large of a scale and this much noise always happening. It's actually really nice to be around. I'm not going to lie. I quite enjoy it. I don't know if it's something that I would continue to enjoy if I lived here. I think I'm partially just enjoying the freshness of it and how new it is. I don't know if it's something, if all this hustle and bustle is something that I would continuously enjoy if I stayed here for longer than a few months. But I went to a bookstore yesterday, and as a matter of fact, let me grab it. I think I'll read a little page from it. It's a poem. It's a poetry book. It's got a bunch of poems in it, and it has the cover has some beautiful horses, so it really drew my attention, and I ended up buying it. Let's see if I find a page that I think is worthy of reading. Man, my allergies are crazy. Okay. I'm going to read this one. It's titled, She Has Some Horses. Here we go. She had some horses. She had horses who were bodies of sand. She had horses who were maps drawn of blood. She had horses who were skins of ocean water. She had horses who were the blue air of the sky. She had horses who were fur and teeth. She had horses who were clay and would break. She had horses who were splintered red cliff. She had some horses. She had horses with long, pointed breasts. She had horses with full, brown thighs. She had horses who laughed too much. She had horses who threw rocks at glass houses. She had horses who licked razor blades. She had some horses. She had horses who danced in their mother's arms. She had horses who thought they were the sun, and their bodies shone and burned like stars. She had horses who waltzed nightly on the moon. She had horses who were much too shy and kept quiet in stalls of their own making. She had some horses. She had horses who liked creek-stomp dance songs. She had horses who cried in their beer. She had horses who spit at male queens who made them afraid of themselves. She had horses who said they weren't afraid. She had some horses who lied. She had some horses who told the truth, who were striped bare of their tongues. That completes that poem. That was an interesting poem. I really just picked that poem out of nowhere. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I just enjoy the cover of this book, so I picked it out and I figured I would find something. I'm sorry if that poem creeped you out or if it made you feel uneasy. It's definitely a peculiar poem to read. I flipped through a page and I just saw the word the city Albuquerque. I've driven through Albuquerque before. How much time do I have left? I think I have a little bit. Enough time to read another one. Let's see. This one's called Connection. Connection. Here we go. A hawk touches down, the humming earth before Miami, Oklahoma. You old Shawnee, I think. I think of your rugged ways, the sick-floored bars and whiskey, sour nights when softer heart comes apart. The Spokane you roam isn't city of angels, but another kind of wilderness. You speed in a Ford truck, and it's 5 a.m, the sun and dogs only one's up. And you go home to red earth when you see a hawk, crossing wires, touching down. And that completes that poem. Interesting. That's the third poem I've read from this book, and it doesn't seem to rhyme very much. I think poetry is such an interesting form of art because it can be so diverse and so different. I've always appreciated poems. I've always appreciated that form of literature. I just love reading poems, and I love how they're so unpredictable at times. Like, the pages that I've read so far, you couldn't possibly guess the next few words that, would have came out of my mouth. There's no way you could. And if you did, I'm very impressed. But I still remember, actually. I like to revisit this as often as I can so I don't forget it. Although I don't think I'll ever forget it. I still remember the first poem that I ever wrote as a child. I was in second or third grade. Don't quote me on this. Possibly third grade. But it was the first poem that I ever wrote. We were given the task of writing a poem that rhymed, or I don't know. I think we just had to write a poem. And I chose to write a poem that rhymed because I wanted to impress this girl that I had a super big crush on. She was in my class as well. She sat behind me or in front of me, and I would always look at her. But anyway, wow, these are my third grade memories coming back to me. But this poem is called Flowers Blooming, and this is how it goes. Flowers blooming all around me, thinking how they all surround me. Flowers are blooming every day, sometimes even in grass or hay. Yeah, that was my poem called Flowers Blooming from Diego Burchell in third grade. Copyright pending. I'm kidding. Yeah. I love all forms of art. I love any kind of creativity. It really just draws me. This bookstore that I visited, I think it was called The Last Bookstore. It's here in downtown Los Angeles. You walk in and it's like a Harry Potter feeling when you walk in. There are just so many pieces of art made out of books, and they have records, they have arts, and there's a second story that you can go up to that has a balcony that overlooks the entire library. And they have different studios where artists actually go and create their art. So as you're looking at books, you can go into these galleries and look at different kinds of art. It's a wonderful experience. I've never seen anything like it. So, yeah, this is the end of today's painting. I hope you enjoyed today's session and you enjoyed listening to my voice, and I had an amazing time. Goodbye.